inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
They get this out left. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up. Had the option there, read it perfectly, and an easy little touchdown toss.
And it has to be a sharp throw, too, because of where they are on the field. The extra traffic, things are condensed near the goal line. Good route by the receiver as well.
They'll try and throw for it. Escaping the pressure right. And he will get into the end zone as they will indeed claim a 1-point lead. And that was the old QB one-man band play there on the conversion.
And look, let's face it, even quarterbacks who don't have great mobility, in certain situations, they're able to actually take the ball in themselves. Remember way back when Joe Namath against the Giants at the Yale Bowl, right? Remember Joe had all those knee operations. They thought he couldn't run it. No one accounted for him. He practically walked into the end zone.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
You're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Good strong throw and catch right there, and so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on 3rd down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. The Packers defense, they ready themselves here. And they have the 3 takeaways, but still losing despite the effort that we see on the screen.
And thank goodness for that effort, because without it, they're probably really getting routed at this point. Keeping them in the game as best they can, they've got to taking the ball away, because right now they're not getting enough help from the rest of the squad.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now. And Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out, got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
On second down, it's Hill. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down. Rodgers going to throw. He is going to find Hill here. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is 9-9. From the 30 on second down. Rodgers. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jamin Davis. And his guys are going to get 28-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Heineke. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Play of the half here. Heineke. He's going deep for Brown. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL.
Just like that, on we head to half number 2. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This taken in at the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
Heineke's throw into the hands of McLaurin. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. To throw is Heineke. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Heineke from the gun on 3rd down. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And able to elude one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Now Heineke. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. And that'll set him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Looking to throw. Heineke. And down he goes. They sink him back right around the 41-yard line. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. Now a handoff looking right. Able to slither by. 62 yards on the ground for him so far.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So the deep ball giveth, and now the deep ball taketh away.
And you get deep on me here. I like that. Going to the next level in what you're thinking. And when you think about all the success he's had throwing the football so far, sometimes when you're doing that, you think you're invincible out there. But he was given a cold dose of reality on that throw.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggles.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game. When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 14. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cobb. A gain of 6 there on first. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all.
And it's a Packers touchdown. Randall Cobb with touchdown number 8 on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Rodgers will throw for it. It's complete. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And 3 touchdown passes so far, but it hasn't been enough.
And the guys that I know that run teams in the NFL, they think it's because they haven't done enough. Despite what we're seeing here, 3 touchdown passes, looks good. In his mind, he's thinking, I just have to find a way to do more.
Yeah, he might be thinking I need 4 and 5, maybe 6. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Here's Gibson to start the drive. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice gain.
And good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 45-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 41, Heineke slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
McCrane able to knock this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which... Now a handoff here to his running back. And a gain of about 4 here moves this from the 6 up to the 10. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Heineke. Completes it to Samuel. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
That one is slant to McLaurin. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Play action now. Here's Heineke. Taking a shot for Samuel. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big connection on that one, 38 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. 78 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And Washington has once again taken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
They're trying to get 2 and end up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. Now swing pass for Dillon. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll make it a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy on the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cobb. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks him. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Well, this has been a bit of a tough game to figure out when it comes to him throwing the football. He's got the 3 touchdown passes, but now, Charles, this is a 3rd interception.
And those aren't really numbers that you'd like to see balance out. In a normal ledger sheet, if you can balance everything, you feel good about your day. But as a quarterback, you need your ratio to be more like 3 touchdown passes to 1 interception.
Heinicke on 1st down.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st.
105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd down.
And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
And he'll go down at the 28.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Heinicke, middle of the field. He's got McLaurin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, Heinicke.
This is caught.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. There we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. 4th down, Heineke. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. So a heck of a drive right there with the game potentially hanging in the balance.
A very good drive, and now a conversion to make it a 2-score game and a solid lead.
Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jamin Davis. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Let's listen in on the call. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Throwing, Heineke. Now he's flushed out left. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And oh, that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. McCrane's kick is good. And that will give him a 12-point lead. So they settle for... Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of